G'day, my name's Ron Jones. I'm a passionate fly fisherman and spend a lot of time on the Indi River. I'm always camped with my mates and their horses, and quite often we sit around the campfire and talk about how lucky we are to have such a fortunate life. A couple of years ago I walked the Kokoda track. Before I walked the track, I researched it to see exactly what happened and how the Japanese were stopped from reaching Australia. What I did find out is before the campaign, a regular soldier would not fight alongside an army reservist, also known as a Choco. But after this campaign, that changed. I was compelled to write this poem. I'm just an average Aussie, and I love the Aussie life. I love the Aussie bush, that's doing what I like. And I love the Upper Murray, where you'll find the River Indi, where I love to wet a line and catch a nice trout on the fly. And I've got mates who love their horses, and mates who love their scotch, and mates who love their footy and their teams they love to watch. Yeah, we all love our freedom and love the things we do. And I think we nearly lost it all back in 1942. The Japs had hit New Guinea with Australia in their sight, but their troops were in the Middle East alongside the Poms they had to fight. So Curtin, our Prime Minister, get them home here now, get them on the ship before the Japs get control and get our country in their grip. But the Japs were in New Guinea now. What were we going to do? All we had up there was the Chocos back in 1942. Chocos? Army reserves? Yeah, the regular army called them chocolate soldiers because they always felt if they ever got in the heat of battle, they'd just lay right down and melt. Half had never fired a gun and the rest were pretty green. They were just up there to unload ships and to keep the barracks clean. But by now the Japs had landed at Boona, over the Owen Stanley Range. Well, they planned to march and take Kokoda, where they could land their troops and planes. Well, Aussie Command was getting desperate now, and decided we couldn't wait. Get those Chocos on the track, before it's all too late. They may be able to buy some time till the regular army arrive, but those Chocos had no training. Slim chance they'll survive. But those Chocos, they pushed and slogged through the mud and the heat, up that hard track where the mountains were steep. Malaria was rife from the mozzies and bugs, and dysentery went straight to those young Aussie blokes. There were 80 up front who hit the Japs head on, and they were outnumbered 6-1. They fought, and one of the first to fall was Sergeant Sam Templeton. He was 6'6" tall. When the Japs got his body, they thought, what have we struck? These men fight like gladiators, and they're sure big enough. And those Chocos had leaders who all knew their stuff. They would set up ambushes and pounce from the rough. They slowed the Japs down till the regulars arrived, and those soldiers and Chocos, they fought side by side. Those Chocos lost mates who had died for their home, and now those gladiators lay in that country alone. We see their graves, and for warriors we look, and the first we read, he's 19, a young hotel cook. A solicitor, he was 26. He left behind a wife and 3 kids. An 18-year-old baker, taken by the gun. Spare a thought for those left behind. He was a mother's only son. They were just average Aussies who did as we do, and they gave it all up for me and you. So when you're out doing what you love, fishing, horse riding, or flying above, stop for a moment and think what we've got, and thank those young Chocos who gave up the lot.